All right, family, it's your brother Assad, and I am back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, I got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to my South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. Myself, my wife, my children, we greatly appreciate it. Third, in terms of housekeeping, this is a bam bam, not a bam bam bam. So bear with me. This is a bam bam, not a bam bam bam. So August 27th. I've been saying August 27th for the meetup at 1400 o'clock. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 1400 hours, I don't know how to say it. All right. So I'm sorry to say that we have to postpone the August 27th meetup for 1 week. For 1 week to September 3rd. Now, why do we have to postpone? Y'all remember the last video I told y'all our visas were approved and we were elated. So now we have to fly to DC. God, this is rough. Y'all, this is rough. We just got off the plane Sunday, and now we have to get back on the plane next week, or I think Sunday or Monday, get back on the plane and fly all the way back to the United States, stay there for like 2-3 days, and then fly all the way back to Johannesburg, to South Africa. Wow. But it's for a good reason, so we can get our visa, bam, in our passport, so that we could have authority and autonomy and legitimacy as we move around our beloved South Africa. So we're flying back, and because of that, we will not be here on August 27th. But we will be here September 3rd. So September 3rd at 1400 o'clock, the meetup will take place. I'm sorry, I know I told y'all to mark your calendars for August 27th. I could not foresee this. If I did, I wouldn't have done it, right? So September 3rd, 1400 o'clock. And it's looking like signatures. It's looking like signatures, and I want to say I'm going to call there and kind of work out the logistics of it all. I know some people said, Brother Assad, is signatures, well, one person actually told me that. Signatures is a little expensive, right? And so I asked around. I asked a brother here in SA who I know is balling out of control. He got nice cars and a big old house. And I said, well, his signature's expensive? He said, not for me. I said, I'm asking the wrong Negro. I'm asking the wrong Negro. I forgot. You got money. So let me ask somebody else. So I asked another brother who just graduated school, right? Graduated varsity, as you guys call it, or university. And he was like, oh, no, it's not that bad. It's about the same price as Jamili. I think it's called Jamili's. And then I asked my brother Sandili. I think I got it. I don't know. I might have got it wrong. But so I asked him. He was like, "Nah, it's not that bad." Again, he was like, "It's almost like the same price as Jamili." So I said, "Okay, cool. We'll roll with signatures." I've been there, and I can vouch that the food is good, the experience, the ambiance. I don't know how to ambiance. I don't know if that's the right word. I always mess that word up. But the environment and all that good stuff is good. So we're going to do signatures. So it's tentatively signatures. And I will make sure that I will reach out to them and try to coordinate and let them know maybe 20 or 30 people will be there on September 3rd at 1400 hours, right? Military time. So, so a lot has transpired since our last video, and we did finally purchase a vehicle. Now, some people were asking, man, how y'all ended up in a Honda? I thought you said you wanted a big body, and Brother Side, you said you want a big old truck and all that good stuff. I said, well, yeah, that's the truth. True that, big old facts. But here's what happened. So we don't have any debt. When we left the United States, we were out of debt, paid off everything, sold a house, sold cars, and we don't have no debt, right? And we were not looking to come to SA and get in any more debt. So we wanted a vehicle that we could just pay cash for, pay flat out, right? And so that instantly that took BMWs, Range Rovers, anything that the rappers got, that took us out of that. Yeah. If a rapper rap about it, you ain't never heard a rapper rap about a Honda. No, you ain't never heard a rapper rap about a Honda. They ain't, yeah. So that instantly took those type of vehicles out, and it took a lot of big body trucks. Although we went to several dealerships, and I never saw a big body truck. Right, I saw a truck, reasonable, but it ain't like what I had. Y'all don't drive those trucks. Y'all don't think. I think the closest you guys got is like a maybe the size of that Ford Ranger or whatever have you. But the in the states, the Ranger is the smaller of the trucks. There's a F-150 and then there's a F-250. Those are big trucks, right? So what I had was equivalent to like a F-150. I had a Silverado. So anyway, we went to several dealerships. The first dealership, we were just going to settle on anything that we could buy. Believe it or not, we were about to buy a Toyota Agya, Agya. I don't know how to pronounce it. We were about to buy it. And I'm telling you, we got in the car. We took it for a drive. We was driving the car like that. I was in there like this, Man, my shoulder was touching the passenger, the car salesman. My shoulder touching his shoulder, right? So, but I was like, I'll buy it because it was actually a brand new vehicle, right? I was like, well, it's brand new, I'll drive it. And what stopped me from driving it? What stopped me from buying it? We were sitting there. I'm telling you, we were sitting there getting ready to do some paperwork, and the same car that we just drove with, driven it right back into the dealership inside, right on the showroom floor, and one of the other workers in the in the dealership put it in neutral, and he pushed that car with one hand like this to move it up. When I saw him push that, I said, I ain't buying that, man. He just pushed that with one hand? No, I need something better. No, I need him to at least have to, flex just a little bit. He pushed that with one hand and was playing with his cell phone. I said, oh, no, man, I can't do this. No, hell no. Nah, man, get the paperwork from in front of me, man. So, that was that. So that was at the Toyota dealership. On the way home that day, we were coming down, I think, y'all help me out. Is it William Nicole or William Nickel? It looks like Nickel, but anyway. So we were coming down that street and I saw a Honda, Kia, and I think another Toyota dealership all owned with the same name, MOT-US. I said, you know what? We're going to check that out. So I went home I came home and I got online to look at their inventory to see what they had. And I looked at the used inventory because I was going to buy a used vehicle because we wanted to pay cash for it or whatever have you. So I saw a Volvo. I think it was a 2016 Volvo. Nice size. I think it was the 470 or something like. It was a nice Volvo. And I was like, oh, I'm willing to pay a little bit extra because I like this car. It was nice and sizable. It had all, I'm not that smart. So, and little things can entertain me. So I saw all the buttons inside I was looking at the pictures. I saw all the buttons. I said, ooh, there's a lot of buttons in there. And it light up a whole bunch of lights and buttons. Yeah, I want this. I want this. So yeah. So the next morning I got up at 7:30 because they opened at 8. I got up at 7:30 and I was there at 8 o'clock. And my wife and the children, we were there at 8 o'clock on the dot. And I walked straight to it. And people were speaking, hi sir, may I help you? I'm on my way. I'm looking for there it is. So I walked over to the Volvo. The guy walked up to me. I said, I want this. Yeah, I don't need to see nothing else. I want this one. He said, unfortunately, this has been sold. I was like, it's been sold? Well, why is it still here? Then I forgot in South Africa, y'all don't take the cars the same day, right? And I was like, well, y'all need to put a sign on this or something sold or take it off the internet or something. Man, I came here for this. And he said, well, let me show you this BMW. Now, I've owned at least 2 BMWs in my life. So, I mean, he was kind of talking sweet to me when he said that, right? So I was like, well, yeah, let me see what little BMW you talking about. It was like a 2016 BMW. So it was nice size. I don't know. I don't forget what it was. But anyway, Now, the BMWs I had before were both brand new. And when you get in there and you grip, they used to advertise the BMW as the ultimate driving machine. The ultimate driving machine, just like bam, 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 just like that. And when I got in that, my first one, I bought my first BMW in 2005. And I got in there, man, that son of a gun, boy, the steering wheel just felt so tight. And you tapped the gas and it was like, boom, that engine lets you know I'm about to take off, right? It grips the road, like you can make those sharp turns in those beamers, and it's gonna grip the road, right? And you feel it. If you ever driven a bit, anybody's ever driven a beamer knows what I'm talking about. You feel it, right? I got into this BMW, I ain't feel nothing. I got up with the steering wheel was all loosey goosey. I said, man, what kind of BMW is this? Huh? I don't know. I ain't never seen no Beamer like this, man. Who had this car? And what did they do to it? How you, what? I was like, nah, I don't want this. Then it was just, I didn't want it. If you don't feel it, if there's no connection, I didn't want it. Next, he showed us another BMW, right? Because I told him, I was like, hey, I like Beamers now. So he showed us another BMW, and it was a little smaller one. And when we got in there, he was in the passenger side, the salesman, and then my wife and the children were in the back seat. And my wife was sitting like this, and I was like, I ain't finna buy a car and be all cramped up. It was one of them baby little BMWs. I ain't finna do that, right? So we were getting actually ready to head out. And I looked at the cars. You know how they have the cars that are like parked on the street that they're advertising with the signs and the loud letters to let you know you need to come look at this car. This is these are our top of the line cars that you want to come. These are our best inventory right here. So I looked out there. I said, well, let me see what they got out there. So I walked out there and I ran into this Honda. Now, we've had a Honda before, right? And Honda's, for one thing about a Honda, it's dependable, it's reliable. When you stick that key in the ignition or you press that button, it's going to start. And it's going to run for a long time. And that's important, right? So we saw this Honda, and I said, man, I had never seen that. I was like, what is this? Is this a hatchback? Is it an SUV? Is it a funny shaped car? Man, what is this? And so he explained to us what it was, and I got into the car, and I sat down. I said, man, this is nice. It has the nice interior with the leather and all that good stuff. And I said, well, I'll take it for a ride. Now we took it for a ride. Now I don't ride like no BMW, but it rolled better than that BMW I drove. I was like, oh, I like this. This is all right. And surprisingly enough, the wife and the children were in the back seat, and they had ample amount of space, right? And then for practical things like hauling stuff, if you need to put a lot of suitcases or kids' book bags or bicycles and all, you can fit all of that in this vehicle because the seats have special ways of folding. You can fold them down, you can fold them back, you can fold them in. And I was like, oh yeah, this is practical. This is practical and it's useful. And then he gave us a price. I said, man, that's too high. That's too high. You got to come down. Then what price is way too high? You need to cut it. You need to cut it. So, I played that little, okay, I'm about to walk away. Don't worry about it. I'll see what I can do. And he said, let me talk to my manager. That's what I need you to do. I played that little, I'm about to roll out, man. I ain't worried about it, whatever have you. And he said, let me talk to my manager. When he came back with the numbers, I was like, well, yeah, we could do it. I can go up a couple of extra $1,000 in my budget to pay for this car cash and to be able to have something reliable, dependable, good on gas mileage, and practical. Right? Good on gas and petrol. Y'all call it petrol. Good on petrol, reliable, dependable, and practical. Right? So that's why we got the Honda. And we are absolutely happy with the purchase. We've been driving around Josie all day. All day, all in parts that we usually don't go. Just driving, getting the feel of the car. And it is it's just a really fun car to drive. It's surprisingly spacious inside. You can easily fit 3 medium-sized adults, not no 3 big people like me. No, 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 no. You could fit 3 medium-sized adults in the car, in the back seat. So that's definitely good enough for my 2 babies, right? To get them back and forth to school. It's also something that so we just have 1 car, right? We didn't go out and buy. We're not going to go out and buy 2 and 3 cars. So it's also something that the wife can feel comfortable driving. When I had the big truck, right, the big old, she ain't really like driving the big old Silverado. You know, you got to kind of adjust to driving big old cars with a long bed or whatever have you. So this is an easy car for her to get behind the wheel and drive. So yeah, that's the story. Now we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna go live tomorrow, probably around 11 a.m., 12 noon, around that time, and we'll let Adrienne give her input on this whole story, and just we got a few other things we want to talk about. But remember, September 3rd at 1400 hours. September 3rd at 2 o'clock. Tentatively, Signatures Restaurant for the Meetup family. Thank you so much for watching, man. And we just have to thank our South African family. I have to say this sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Man, we've been many places in my life and time. As the great philosophical musician Donny Hathaway said, I've been many places in my life and time. Huh? But we have never been welcomed and felt such warmth and genuine love and genuine welcome as we have here in South Africa, from the people at the deal, just everywhere, just flat out everywhere. And we greatly appreciate that. And so yeah, man, we thank you guys for that. And we're just happy to be here. We're going to run to the United States, get our visas, and then we're going to come and settle down, and we're going to just involve ourselves in the South African community, in the Johannesburg community, and all that good stuff. And one of the ways we do that is through our meetups. One of the ways we get to know our people and rub elbows and talk, eat loud, eat, drink, and be merry, laugh loud, talk loud, do something radically simple and revolutionary at the same time. Radically simple and revolutionary, leaving rands in the register, right, of Black-owned businesses. And at the same time, we get to meet our people and develop our network and talk and get to know people and get guidance and information and exchange with one another, right? Oftentimes when we talk about the South, like when we were doing the South African American dialogues once a month, right? People were like, we have to form something. You form it at the beginning through dialogue and true exchange of ideas and personalities and experiences, one-on-one or in group settings, where people feel more and more comfortable with you and you with them. And that's how we begin to create this synergy between African Americans and South Africans. You just don't know the number of African Americans who reach out to me via email and say, Brother Assad, I'm on my way to SA, or Brother Assad, I'm living here, but y'all done convinced me that I need to be in South Africa. Y'all convinced me that I need to be in Johannesburg. And you don't know how many times I sit on Zoom calls or talk on the phone or respond to those emails and say, come on, right? So there are many of us African Americans whose eyes have been opened to South Africa and the benefits of this nation and the beautiful people of this nation and the warmth and the prosperity and the possibilities and the probabilities of this nation. And we are super duper excited. So if we want to build that synergy, we build it by being being in the company of each other and learning each other, learning our idiosyncrasies and our particularities and peculiarities. And we learn each other's, right? And that's how we do it, through a good eat, drink, and be merry at the meetup, September 3rd. All right, family, y'all have a good one.